This devlog was planned and recorded before all the Unity stuff that went down. Yesterday they announced their new toned-down policy that is much more reasonable. However, I'm still not sure that I want to go back to Unity development just yet. I'm currently making progress in the Godot engine to see if it has everything that I need. I'm also considering making some tutorials as I go. In any case, I hope you enjoyed this video, but keep in mind that it's about my Unity project and not where I currently am in Godot. Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since my last devlog and there are many things that I want to share with you. Since I want these devlogs to be more focused, I will dedicate today's devlog to one important aspect of the game, the monsters, or as they are known in the setting, yokai. The world of Hirogane, which is the working title of my game, is a dangerous realm inspired by feudal Japan. Its natural beauty conceals a world of wandering spirits, some mischievous, others ravenous, all lurking in wait for unwitting travelers. These creatures may hunger for your essence or they just defend their sacred domains, but in Hirogane, superstition reigns as the night falls and for good reason. I believe that monsters are the lifeblood of any RPG, second only to the story, but perhaps even more important. I set out to create 5 distinct monsters, each with its unique appearance and behavior. This not only pushes me to explore the game's most challenging aspects early on, but also promises to build an interesting roster of enemies. The One Yudo is a bone-chilling yokai that comes from the depths of hell. It is the tormented soul of a sinner condemned to roam the roads and mountain paths, searching for other sinners to drag back to hell. The lower your karma is, the greater the odds of stumbling upon one after nightfall. This yokai constantly burns in anguish and it is therefore immune to fire attacks. Its own attacks deal fire damage and ignite its surroundings. The One Yudo's main attack is a charge attack, where he rolls towards the enemy, creating fire trails behind him. If you get too close to a One Yudo, he will perform a spin attack that will knock you back. Finally, he can breathe fire at mid-range to ignite both enemies and the environment. These fire trails serve as a hit source and cause fire damage to the player and NPCs. This introduces emergent gameplay possibilities. For example, you can ignite a barrel of explosives, set your arrow on fire, or cook a quick snack in the middle of battle. Next are the Kappa, aquatic spirits that reside in rivers and lakes, with an affinity to water. They are an example of a weaker yokai that can become troublesome in larger groups. Their source of power is a water-filled pool on their head. As they use their magic, this pool gradually depletes. When it's empty, they can no longer cast any magic. If you aim your attacks at their head, you can make them spill some of the water and lose their magic abilities faster. Their backside is a hard shell that provides a perfect defense for when the Kappa decides to retreat, which happens often since they prefer ranged combat. Their melee attack lacks power but has a chance to cause bleeding. Their primary attack is a charge water blast that causes a knockback. It also inflicts a wet status which can interact with other elements like ice, electric and fire. The Tsuchi Gumo is a big spider. It ambushes its prey from the treetops deep in the forests. Giant bugs are a staple of RPGs and I knew I had to have this type of enemy for the visual variety it provides. I also tried to bring new features that you don't usually see from the spiders in other RPGs. For a close range attack it has a poisonous bite. The poison deals small damage over a long period of time. To close the distance, the spider can jump towards you. It can still be a bit buggy, but I think it provides a realistic and unexpected twist to the formula. Finally, it can shoot webs to try and catch its prey. If successful, it will begin to pull its target towards him. However, you can still struggle and break loose from the web by moving away and stretching the web far enough. Another staple of RPGs is the slow-moving skeleton. A corpse moved by a vengeful spirit may be that of a bandit that roams around looking for someone to unleash its fury on. It's slow but resistant to both pierce and slash weapons due to the lack of soft tissues. If you want to take one down, use a blunt weapon like a staff or pound it to dust with your fists. It has a melee combo and will sometimes resolve to a bite attack. Upon death, it will return to being a pile of bones. If you encounter a skeleton that is glowing with strong spiritual energy, it will explode upon death and might take you or some of its comrades with it. Finally, we have the Koma Inu, guardians of stone that can be found at the entrances to most shrines. They were built long ago by a powerful onmyoji to protect the shrine and its inhabitants from harm. As long as your karma is not too low and you don't commit any crime on the sacred ground, you have nothing to worry about from these noble spirits. However, commit any crime and the stone dogs will awaken from their sleep to hunt you down. They are a pair of beings representing the start and end of all things. While one is fighting with physical prowess, the other fights with mystical abilities. The physical member of the duo uses a claw attack combo, ending with a tail sweep. It also has a charge attack to close distance and deal damage at the same time. Finally, it can jump high and stomp the ground around it to send a shockwave that knocks everyone up. The magical counterpart remains in the background, charging attacks and firing them from a distance. The first attack is a lightning bolt that explodes on contact. If you are fast enough to dodge it, you will soon find out that it was aimed at the other Komainu that bounces it back towards you. After 3 attempts to play ball, the next attack is a charged lightning bolt that damages and pushes you back. For a close range, there is a burst of electricity. There is also a healing spell directed to its partner if he is close to dying. There are of course more enemies in the works, but for now, my goal of creating 5 unique monsters has been reached. As I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I am currently testing the Godot engine, and I think my progress is decent. Seeing as I worked on my game for a long time before making the first devlog, this can be an opportunity to document my progress from the start as I explore this new engine. If you want to support me on this journey, please consider subscribing to this channel. I also started a Patreon where I will be sharing some extra content of what I am working on and some lore about the world. I also uploaded a very early demo of the game where you can test the 5 monsters from this video, and it's available in the Patreon for all tiers.